What if bacteria could rebuild a city? Not a colony, not a cluster, a fully organized, self-sustaining city with walls, communication networks, waste management, and a defense system your immune cells and antibiotics cannot penetrate. What if that city was growing inside you right now? It is not a metaphor, it is called a biofilm, and it is one of the most dangerous and least understood structures in all of microbiology. It begins with a single bacterium, a lone cell drifting through your body, through a wound, through a catheter, across the surface of a medical implant, or a tooth or a lung. It finds a surface, it lands, and it makes a decision. It stops being a wanderer and it begins to build. The first thing it does, it releases a molecular signal, a chemical message that says, I am here. Is anyone else here? Other bacteria nearby receive that signal. They move toward it. They attach to the same surface. They begin releasing signals of their own. This is the beginning of something extraordinary. Because bacteria living alone are relatively easy for your immune system to find and destroy, but bacteria that can sense each other, bacteria that know how many of them there are, can coordinate, can cooperate, can do things no single bacterium could ever do alone. This ability to sense their own population is called quorum sensing, and it is the founding technology of the bacteria city. Once enough bacteria have gathered and quorum sensing signals reach a threshold, everything changes. The bacteria collectively switch on a new set of genes that were silent when they were alone, genes that exist for one purpose: to build the city walls. They begin secreting a complex matrix of sugars, proteins, and DNA, a thick, sticky substance that surrounds the entire community. This matrix is called extracellular polymeric substance, but what it actually is an armor. Your immune cells arrive, neutrophils, macrophages, the full first response. They try to engulf the bacteria the way they always do, but the matrix stops them. The immune cells cannot penetrate it. They cannot reach the bacteria inside. In frustration, they release their destructive enzymes and reactive oxygen species, and those weapons damage the surrounding tissue instead. Your immune system is attacking itself, trying to breach a wall it cannot break. Biofilms are responsible for an estimated 65 to 80% of all chronic and recurrent infections in the human body. Chronic wounds infections, device-associated infections, persistent lung infection and cystic fibrosis, dental plaque, recurrent UTIs. Every one of them protected by a fortress your immune system and your antibiotics were not designed to fight. Science is now developing strategies to disrupt quorum sensing, to silence the communication network before the city can be built, to dissolve the matrix, to force persistent cells back into activity where antibiotics can reach them. But here is what this story reveals. Bacteria are not simple. They are not primitive. They have been building cities for 3.5 billion years, long before we existed, long before we had walls of our own.